What's up everybody? Welcome back to another Q&A session here on my YouTube channel. First off, how do you get your question answered by me on one of my Q&A videos or in one of my vlogs? It's easy. Make sure you guys are following me on social media at SwimMiller on Twitter and at Cody Miller on Instagram. When I ask for questions on Instagram, when I post a little picture, shoot them off on there. And all right, now let's get started for the questions. And our first question today comes from Jamie_Joshua, who asks, what was the hardest part of your swimming career so far? Interesting you asked that. I'm actually gonna do a vlog on this in a couple of weeks once Indiana swim camp starts, which I'll kind of be working this summer. But in short, it was summer of 2012. I was doing 2 online summer classes. So I was in summer school. I was coaching swim camp full-time. I was a swim camp counselor, so I had a group of 20 kids that I was responsible for, and I was training for Olympic trials all at the same time. So I had to coach 2 swim workouts a day, swim 2 swim workouts a day, somehow fit in 2 classes worth of schooling during the day, and also manage all these kids that I was in charge of. That was the most draining, hardest time in my life. But I'm grateful for it. It taught me a lot. I'm gonna do a vlog on that, so watch out for that. Kay Becker asks, were you an All-American in high school? I actually don't think that those things even existed when I was in high school. Like, I know that there are NCAA All-American awards and whatnot that I got when I was in college, but in high school, I don't even think, like, I lettered in high school. I don't think it was that big of a deal back then. I honestly don't really know. Yeah. Eleanor_Oliver asks, do you use hand paddles for breaststroke? Which ones would you recommend? Yes, I do use hand paddles for breaststroke. We actually do a lot of breaststroke pull here at Indiana. You know, Lily and I do a ton of breaststroke pull. I recommend, you know what? Tier has a new pair of paddles. I'm sponsored by Tier, so take this with a grain of salt, but they have a new set of paddles that I have, and I love them, and they're coming out soon. They are the best paddles I've ever used, and I'm not just saying that. Sure, I'm paid by them, but it is the best pair of paddles I've ever worn. For a long time, I've been using the Stroke Maker paddles. I think that's the brand, Stroke Maker, but I'm telling you, there's a new pair of paddles that are, in one of the vlogs, I'll show you them, okay? I will show you them. Our next question comes to us from Natalie Hart 1, who asks, what is your advice for swimmers who really feel like they'll never make it to the Olympics or accomplish their goals? Well, let me put it this way. I, being an Olympian, can tell you that there is a serious point in my life, a long time I never thought I was gonna be an Olympian, okay? And you shouldn't just do something just in hopes that one day you might reach the very peak, right? Like, people don't play basketball just so that they can maybe in hopes one day make the NBA, or maybe in hopes one day win a national championship. People, you know, people don't go bowling just in hopes of being the greatest bowler in the world, right? I aspired to be one of the greatest Olympic swimmers ever for points in my life, but I never knew it was ever gonna happen. And so my advice to you would be, make sure you're doing it for the right reason, right? For the longest time I swam because I just had friends, because it was fun, it was my hobby, and because I enjoyed it. And goals are a part of that sphere of swimming, right? You've got training, you've got friendships, relationships, coaches, mentors, goals, fun, swimming. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. And so like that goal is just a small thing. And yeah, I mean, certainly set goals, but that is not the only reason why you should ever do something. That's my advice. Dina Rogers asks, how to know when you're too sick to train? Good question. 9 times out of 10 will still swim when I'm sick. With the exception of if I'm bedridden, if I'm like dying sick, like if you're really sick, you know when you're too sick to leave the house or you're too sick to do something. I would say most of the time when I'm a little bit sick, I still go into the pool and I just swim easy, because oftentimes I feel better to kind of flush out my system, clear the pipes, you know what I mean? Generally speaking, you know, right? And also if you're not, if you know you're not contagious, right? Like if you're contagious, don't go in. You know, there's no right or wrong answer for that. I hope that kind of helps, but you know, if you just think it's a minor cold, like I would still do a little bit of training. Great question. The next one comes from Hoxie Clean, who says, Cody, with like 100 exclamation points. I don't know if you can see it. Look at all those exclamation points. Love the enthusiasm. All right, please talk about swimming in college and the logistics of scholarships. Who gets them? How much are they usually? Etc. Good question. I could do a whole 10-minute video on this, and maybe I will, but in short, I can only speak for Division I swimming. So like here at Indiana, we are a Division I program, and the men's swim team has 9 full scholarships, which means they have 9 full scholarships to divvy up however they want. They could give 9 people 100% full scholarships, so everything is paid for, or they could break it up. They could give 8 people full scholarships and then two people 50% scholarships, or they could give 18 people 50% scholarships. They can break it up however they choose, but the point is they only have, that's how much they have from in the scholarship bank. And to the second part of your question, who does it go to? It depends on the team, it depends on the athlete. I tend to say, if you're an athlete looking to get a scholarship, college programs look for people who are versatile, people who can do relays, and people who tend to be more sprint oriented. There's nothing wrong with distance swimmers, but like 100 freestyler, 200 IM type of person tends to be really valuable in NCAA swimming. On the women's side, I think women have more. I think women have 11 full scholarships. So then once again, the team would have if it is 11, they would have 11 full scholarships to divvy up however they want. Usually it's broken up amongst a bunch of people. Usually you'll have like 4 or 5 people on a full scholarship, and then the other 4 or 5 leftover scholarships are broken up amongst maybe 10 or 12 different people. Once again, I could really dive into that, but that's it in short. My dogs just came in. Zulia Kassar, I think I'm saying that right, asks, any series you recommend me? Any series I recommend? My favorite TV shows right now are The Carbonaro Effect on True TV. He's this magician who poses as like a person in public and then plays tricks on people. It's hilarious. I love it. I get more excited to watch a new episode of that show than anything else right now.
Jokers.
Impractical, yeah, thank you, Allie. Impractical Jokers. I love Impractical Jokers. Those guys are hilarious. I hope one day I get the opportunity to meet those guys. Those guys are awesome. One of them tweeted at me after the Olympics and I was pumped. I was super pumped. What else, Allie?
Tiny Homes.
Oh yeah, I'm obsessed with tiny home shows right now. So we're watching a lot of stuff on Hulu, and I think the show is Big Living Tiny Homes, where it's like you watch people build tiny homes, like little 300 square foot houses. I think it's fascinating. Stuff on Netflix, dude, never go wrong with Stranger Things. I loved Mindhunter. There's a lot of good stuff out there right now. Tanix asks, thoughts on Fortnite? Okay, I haven't played it a lot. I've played it a bit. Let's see, how many games I've probably played close to 60 or 70 games, so honestly not a lot, but I do really like it, and I see why it's so popular. I understand the craze, and Blake is obsessed with it. Blake and Zach Apple, they play every single day. I haven't been playing it a lot, I haven't had a lot of time to do it, but I really like it, and I see why it's so fun. Like the feeling of winning your first game. Like here's the thing about Fortnite, the people that don't understand, it's like if you're not good, like you die right away and the game ends, and then you can get into a new game. So you don't have to sit through a bad game. But if you're doing well and you're lasting longer, like the intensity picks up because people are dying off and you're surviving longer, and then your heart rate starts to rise. Like it's like you have that instinctual fear of survival, like you're fighting for your life while also building and taking people out. And there's a lot of different elements to Fortnite, and I see why it's so popular. I really like it. I feel like I get this question, I don't feel like it, I get this question regularly. I'll keep answering it. JJ_Uerden asks, I didn't say that right, where'd your eyebrows go? True story, my eyebrows are almost non-existent. It's the pool water. The pool water burns them off because the profile of my goggles are very low, and so when I wear my goggles, the goggle line goes right underneath the eyebrow line, so the water just flushes right over the eyebrows and it just effectively burns them off. That's where I wish I had eyebrows. I love this username. Positively Potatoes asks, great name, do you play Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery? Okay, I think that's the new, Allie, is that the app? Allie's not there right now. There's a new app, I think it's a Harry Potter trivia game. I just heard about it. I've heard about it from like 30 people today, and Allie, so literally when I'm done shooting this Q&A, I'm gonna download it, I'm gonna check it out. I'll let you guys know what I think. And that's a wrap on today's Q&A. As always, make sure you guys are following me on social media, at SwimMiller on Twitter and at Cody Miller on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn that little notification bell on so that you know when my videos get posted. Vlogs every Wednesday, Q&A videos every week. And until the next video, I will see you guys later.